Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Ang tatlong pagbasa natin ay nagtutugma, umaayon sa isang panukala, isang kahulugan na pwede nating pag-isahin. Sa unang pagbasa galing kay Josue, itong huling kabanata ng aklat ni Josue. At ano ang nangyari dito? Tinanong niya, o ano ngayon? Matapos kayo dalhin ng Diyos, iligtas, gabayan sa ilang sa disyerto, matapos kayong bigyan ng lupang pangako, ano na ngayon? What now? Decide. Choose. As for me and my household, I choose the Lord. This is very telling. Yan ang konteksto, yan ang teksto. Ngayon po, babalikan natin yan maya-maya. Sa ikalawang pagbasa naman, sinabi ni San Pablo, ang isang leksyon tungkol sa pagbibigayan, give and take, mutuality, co-responsibility, not constriction, not compulsion, but love, mutual love. Husbands, love your wives, and wives, be subordinate to your husbands. Ang problema, like what happens now, yung mga bagets, ang kinukuot nila ay laban sa mga thunders. Galit kay Angelica. Yung mga nanay, thunders, boomers, nakampis kay Angelica, ang kinukuot lamang ay yung pabor sa kanila. At ang Pilipinas ay hati sa gitna. Yung mga bagets ay panik kay Chloe. At yung mga thunders ay awang-awa kay Angelica. Kwento natin, the second reading tells us a clue about what our behavior should be. Mutuality. And what is the common ground? It is love and respect. In the gospel, we are told about something difficult. Sa nakaraan pong 5 linggo, ay pinapaksa ng Ebanghelyo ang Eucharistia, ang tinapay na mula sa langit, ang tinapay na buhay, ang tinapay na naghahatid sa buhay na walang hanggan. Pero ano ngayon? What now? Hirap talaga bigyan ng katuwaan at kaligayahan ng tao. Walang kabubusugan, kumbaga. Matapos sila pakainin, matapos sila turuan, anong sabi? Ang hirap, Lord, ang hirap ng turo ninyo. Your teaching is hard to swallow. At ano pa, nagwika na, nagpost na sa Facebook, nagpost pa sa TikTok, at they voted with their feet. They went away. And then the Lord gave Peter a loyalty test. What about you? They all went away. Will you also go away? And Peter rose up to the occasion and went away a winner. He won a gold medal for loyalty. Kulang ng isa kasi si Kaloy ay 2. But Peter won a gold medal and he said, "To whom shall we go, O Lord? You alone have the words of eternal life." That is the text. Now, the context in our lives. Ano ang konteksto ng buhay natin ngayon? Malinaw na turo ng Ebanghelyo at ng banal na kasulatan na tayo ang bagong Israel, tayo ang bagong mga kasamahan ni Josue, tayo ang mga pinili ng Diyos, ang bayang hinirang. God chose us, God did His part, He fulfilled His word, and the question for us is, what now? May answer. It takes 2 to tango. Mahirap magtango kung mag-isa ka. Sinong itatango mo? Ang tango dapat may kapareha ka. Kasi it's a contact dance. It's not like the dance. It's not a line dancing. It takes 2 to tango. Relationship is a give and take. It is a two-way traffic. So mga bagets, kailangan nyo ng nanay nyo. Mga nanay, huwag nyong itakwil ang anak ninyo. Bakit? It takes 2 to tango. Family and family culture and the family good news talks about a two-way relationship, a two-way traffic. But then, isa pang leksyon para sa atin, Ang magandang balita ay parang mapait na gamot. It's like bitter medicine. It's hard to swallow. So, ngayon, hayaan niyong baybayin ko ang isang mahalagang leksyon para sa buhay natin na siyang tinutumbok ng 3 pagbasa. At ano ang binabaybay at tinutukoy ng mga pagbasa? Napakasimple. Despite God's fidelity, the reality is that we fall along the way. We complain. We walk away from contracts. We change minds. We make wrong choices. We have been making wrong choices ever since Manuel Quezon said, I prefer a country run like hell by Filipinos than a country run like heaven by foreigners. And what prophetic words he said. And look at us now. We have been making wrong choices all along. And now, we weren't happy with the former, we're not happy with the present, we weren't happy before the former, we weren't happy with anybody, but the thing is, it is us who make wrong choices. At tuwing eleksyon na lamang, predictable ang mananalo. Isa sa 200 pamilya na siyang naghahari sa buong Pilipinas, political dynasties. Despite the fact that our constitutions in 1986-87 already said that political dynasties are a no-no, but they never got around to doing the IRR, the implementing rules and regulations. Why will they? They won't do it because they belong to the same families. And therefore, these families who have been ruling the roost, even in Parañaque, in Cavite, in Manila, everywhere you go, are the same families. And we have been making wrong choices. The reality of our lives is that we all sin, and we all walk out from God. We all walk out of relationships. Just look at Kaloy, he never has gone home to greet his parents. And I'm sad about it, and I'm not siding with the parents. Neither am I siding with Kaloy. I am just reporting to you the sad state of society, including Philippine society. The reality is that we fall repeatedly. We make wrong choices for leaders. We make wrong decisions. How many students, former students, did I have over the past 48 years? They decided they wanted to become engineers, and then they remain in college for 6 to 8 years, and then decide that after 8 years they're not asked and called by God to be engineers. We make wrong choices. We decide to go out, and I know, and I hear this from my counselees, how young people at 18 or 19 can decide, I've had enough of my toxic parents. I want out. And then they go who knows where. I heard it from you. These are real stories that I'm not inventing. We make wrong decisions. We listen now much more to the call of comfort, money, and power. What explains the 613 or so pogos? It's about money. Nabayaran ang nagbibigay ng fake birth certificates. Nabayaran ang Bureau of Immigration. Nabayaran ang Department of Justice, nababayaran si Governor. Bakit napatag ang mga bundok sa Zambales at sa Surigao at naging island ng mga incheck? Nababayaran ang lahat. We make wrong choices and we choose money, comfort, and power before we choose service and real well-being. We are a sorely divided people now. The bagets are for Chloe and Kaloy. And they hate the boomers. They call us boomers. They call us bitters. They call us ampalaya. Inggit lang kayo, mga thunders. Yan ang nakikita ko sa social media. At paulit-ulit ang posting. Parang ginagatungan ng away, pinagsasabong ang mag-ina. Problema ng pamilya na pinakialaman ng buong Pilipinas at ng buong mundo. At ngayon, pagka bagets ang nag-post, ay alam mo na ang tema, toxic parents. Pag ang parents mo ay toxic, itakwil mo sila at umalis ka ng bahay, lumayas ka. Yan ang turo ng social media. The triumph of the therapeutic. I am a therapist, I am a counselor, so I know what I'm talking about. There is a danger in what one psychotherapist calls the triumph of the therapeutic. When you listen to fake psychotherapists in Facebook, graduate ka lamang ng Facebook University, galit ka na sa mga toxic parents, sapagkat may nakita kang sunod-sunod na posting na ang parents na toxic ay dapat iwanan at itakwil at wag nang igalang. The triumph of the therapeutic. Everything, lahat ng tao ay psychologist, lahat ay inhinyero, lahat ay expert sa Greek mythology. Nakabasa sa Facebook tungkol kay Bacchus at Dionysus, galit sa simbahan sapagkat sinabi ng simbahan na ang opening ng Olympics ay hindi tama sapagkat ito'y patama sa Kristyanismo. At nagpalusot at ito daw ay tungkol kay Bacchus at kay Dionysus, pero ang pamagat ay la scène sur la scène sur la scène. The Last Supper, la cena. There is no doubt about that. It's a jab against the Last Supper. It's a jab against Christianity. It's wokeism, plain and simple. When coming from France, the firstborn daughter of the church that is the most wokest country now on earth. And many of your children and grandchildren are wokists. And I will explain why. We are sorely divided now between boomers and thunders against baguettes. The boomers are toxic. The baguettes are enlightened. They are woke. They know better because they subscribe to instant psychotherapists on social media. The wokists are at home with canceling their toxic parents. We have a big crisis of confidence, and this is what sociologists say now. We have a crisis of confidence on institutions. We have a crisis of confidence against government. We have a crisis of confidence in the workplace. We have a crisis of confidence in education, where the Department of Education chairman looks for intelligence funds. The first time in my long life that I hear somebody in DepEd asking for intelligence funds. Ang kailangan natin ay hindi intelligence funds, kung hindi intelligence, period. Bakit? Pinaka-bobo na tayo sa buong Southeast Asia. Ang ating IQ ay below average, 86. And I'm ashamed to say that as an educator. We have a crisis of confidence in marriage. Very, very few people are asking to be married in church because they don't know whether they will stick together in 5 years. We have a crisis of confidence in the church. And I know this because I've been a priest almost for 42 years now. And I know that young people, kinikilatis nila, narinig nila dito sa pulpito at sasabihin nila, makaluma na yung paring yan, thunders na yan, amoy lupa na yan. Kansilado na ako pagka thunders. So, we have the phenomenon called faith interrupted. There is a gaping hole now, a black hole in church attendance. And I see this. Those young people between 18 to 29, where are they? Nasaan ang mga inyong mga apo? Those who are between 18 to 29 are not to be found in the church. Sino nakikita ko sa simbahan? It's the graying of the parishes. Nagpuputi ang mga buhok, except yung nagpapatina, nakukulay ng buhok. The graying phenomenon. There is a black gaping hole in church attendance. The 18 to 29-year-olds are nowhere to be found. And they are divided into 3 according to one author that I respect. Ang una, ang tawag niya yung mga nomads. They walk away, but still consider themselves Christians. Katoliko ako, binyagan ako. Nasaan ka? Wala. Hindi ako nagsisimba. Ayoko nga. Bala kayo dyan. They are nomads. They walk away but still consider themselves Christians. But the worst are the so-called prodigals. They are no longer Christian. I was a Christian. I was baptized, and I blame my toxic mother and father for baptizing me. I have nothing to do with the church and Christianity anymore. but the greater majority are exiles. The exiles are still invested more or less in their faith, but stuck in between the culture of baguettes and wokeism and the culture of the church and the message of eternal life. They still think they are Christians, but I believe Vice Ganda more than I believe our parish priest. I believe it's showtime, and I believe social media influencers more than I believe God and His church. The exiles are still more or less invested, but they are stuck in that no man's land between the culture of wokeism, the culture of cancel culture, the culture of being independent and autonomous from toxic parents, and the culture of the church. Ito ang kinatatayuan natin. Our question is very simple. Do we witness people walking away? Yes, there were more people coming to Mass when I was a young priest. When I was ordained 41 and a half years ago, there was no way but up. Everything was rosy. Everything looked good. But then a few decades after, and I saw it firsthand being an educator, and I'm still teaching in the classroom up until now, I realized my students 40 years ago are a lot better and different from my students now. My students now ask me questions that I feel like I'm pushed against the wall. I'm teaching social ethics, and one of my students asked me point blank, "Why are you so focused on the war in Ukraine?" And I told him, "If I'm not, then you should be worried. I'm teaching social ethics, and war is one real gaping black hole in the socio-ethical enterprise. And if people can go to war because they want more territory, and they think that that country has no right to exist, and that the oceans of the world belong to somebody who invented the 9-dash line, it will become 11-dash line because of the Benham Rise northeast of us. They want the Benham Rise too. They want to control the Pacific and the Indian Ocean and everything else, and the global South Africa and South America, and they want to make a new world order. We are in for a big series of problems, and sometimes nang hihinawa, nang sasawa, nawawala tayo ng pag-asa, nagtatanong, para kay Manifer en la Iglesia. Bakit pa kinakailang manatili sa Santa Iglesia na mga boomers naman at puro thunders ang nagtuturo at medieval at hindi enlightened, hindi sila woke? And people walk away. My question for you and me today is this: what about you? What now? Will you also go away? Let's hold on to Peter, who said, "Lord, to whom shall we go? You alone have the words of eternal life." Please, hold on to those words of hope and taste and see the goodness of the Lord.